back to Sapphire Spider Oracle channel, and this is the first reading for 2021. So I started with my first tarot deck and my first Oracle deck that I ever had. So let's just get to boogieing. I've kept most of these readings pretty short lately, except for a couple. Seems like everyone's kind of back to business, basically. So let's just see what's coming out for you, Gemini. What's your animal oracle card? This is the one. How interesting. Porcupine spirit, time for a beginner mind. Part of this reminded me of one of the toys that my dog has, which is a hedgehog, a little porcupine. And there's actually very much a spirit of playfulness that comes through with porcupine spirits and hedgehog spirits, because of the fact that they kind of like roll up into a ball and they're kind of like fun. It just brought me like the croquet scene from Alice in Wonderland with the little hedgehogs that curl up into a ball and everything. And that's where it's like, there's definitely a lot of fun. And in that scene of Alice playing croquet with the queen, she's played croquet before, but she's never played with hedgehogs and flamingos, right? And so that's where there's very much, yeah, that spirit of like the beginner mind. You might have no idea what's really going on, but that's where it wants you to just have this very fresh mentality and go into everything with a playful attitude. Kind of decorated up too. Look at all the like tattoos and beads and stuff on this porcupine. It's kind of cool. A lot of charms is what it's saying. A lot of protective charms. Okay, that's a nice message, Spirit. It's saying like you're protected. So go into everything with a beginner mind, because you already have your own little charms and everything, and you are protected in that sense. That's cool. What's coming out of the tarot for you then? I brought my crystal ball in here too, just to see if anything kind of comes through. Ooh. All right, this one came out the gate. This Two of Bows, decision. This card can definitely be very frustrating for me when I pull it. So I can already kind of catch that vibe a little bit, which is where we come back to the reminder of like time for a beginner mind, like stay fresh, stay playful with it. Let's not make it such a hard decision, right? Let's stay positive. This guy is standing at the pinnacle of a mountain, the mountain peak. He can see in all directions, but there's definitely two paths that he can choose, one or the other. And neither one is a wrong choice. There is potential on both of these paths. And that's where you kind of have to, yeah, just make your decision. What's your decision? And this is just saying like there's positive things about both paths. So it's not really about like is one better than the other, is what it's saying. It's not that there's one that's better than the other. There's two paths opening up for you. Neither one is better than the other, but they offer different lessons and things. So let's kind of check that out. What's on one path? What's on this first path? It just wants me to pull. Okay, we ready? Oh, it's doing interesting stuff. Okay. Oh, that's the one right there. That's what I mean. It's being so playful with you. I was going to do something else, but there. Okay. That's the card that wanted to come out, though. It's on these two paths. Struggle. But I always say for every reading that I call this the courage card. It's not an easy path is what it's saying. It's definitely not an easy path for one of these. But this card will really build a lot of courage and a lot of strength and a lot of inner perseverance. There is a bit of a struggle bus here, and it said struggle bus because it might involve very much moving and travel. This person is trekking through the snowy landscape. It's also kind of just bringing up the wintertime too, and then being on your own. So there's a struggle bus thing here. And it builds you, but I'm going to just say that this is a very hard path to usually walk. Like if this other card comes out a lot better for you, then I would definitely say I would probably choose the other path. But that's where Spirit's coming in and is saying that the right path is usually not the easy path, right? The right path is not always the easy path. In fact, sometimes it's the hardest path to take. And it wants you to keep that in mind, Gemini. The right path is not always the easiest path. What's on this side? Both of them a little aggravating, right? And look, this is the Five of Arrows frustration card. So this is not super duper awesome either. And that is why, this all makes sense though, Gemini, because that's why you're sitting here at this decision. You've got something where you're more on your own, trekking through the snow, being independent. It can build your courage and strength and perseverance, but it is a little bit of a struggle. And on this other side, we just have this frustration. And very similar to the Eight of Arrows, you got arrows for, this is all in your mind, definitely a mental decision. But on this other path, what this is what it's saying is like distraction, because that's what this frustration card is. You're firing all your arrows off so fast that you're not actually aiming at anything. So you're just kind of flailing around. And if this is your thoughts, right, there's something that's just constantly distracting you. You're not able to hit your target. And that is the big difference between these two paths. This person gonna make it to their target. It's a hard journey getting there, right? This person ain't even really on a path. Like, they're hunting, they're going after something they want, but they're also not focusing whatsoever, and they're just, and that's the two differences here. So like I was saying, the right path is not always the easiest path. It's very easy to just go wander off and go do some hunting and just be very distracted, right? But you're not going to get your end goal like you want, versus this other one where it's like you're a little more isolated, definitely away from these distractions, and just having to follow your own light. But that gets to be very tough inwardly. Notice this figure definitely is kind of looking over to the left. So I'm telling you, I'm kind of feeling this Eight of Arrows. And also, this is a Five of Arrows and an Eight of Arrows. So this is like you're already further along on your path than if you choose to go down this one too. So that's where Spirit's also showing you that if you choose to take the harder path, you're actually like 3 steps ahead of this one. This one's almost like kind of going backwards. Like, you're going to go back to frustration, which is eventually going to lead you back to this card. And like, that's what Spirit very much lean into this card right here. Very much lean into this card right here is what I'm feeling. What's the main factor that is kind of determining this decision though? This is all coming up to the full moon, so this is stuff that will kind of reveal and show itself. But what's the main factor for you? That Ten of Bows, responsibility, completion. It just showed me, it just reminded me of this meme. I literally passed it the other day. It was talking about from Rugrats movie when Tommy Pickles goes, I don't want responsibilities anymore. And like, yeah, buddy, right here. It's like you do want responsibilities, but you don't. They're a heavy burden. You're trying to hurry up and kind of finish and complete some kind of cycle and get it done and get it over with. It's really heavy. And again with the Wands, so this is all inner energy, Gemini. You got Wands, which is that fire spirit, and you got Arrows, which is that mental energy. So in your spirit, you are very much trekking to the top of the mountain to complete a cycle and finish up some responsibilities. And there's a lot of happiness kind of waiting here at the top for you, and you know that. Lots of celebration. And it's almost like this guy is like standing up here and has like been watching you on your whole trip kind of struggle up the mountain. And that's why it's also, it's like he's kind of shouting down at you in a way like, okay, you got 2 paths coming up. Which one are you going to take? You could take the one that's definitely a lot colder and a lot lonelier and maybe not nearly as fun, but you might get there a lot faster. Look how similar these 2 figures look. That's what I mean. You might get there a lot faster if you choose the harder route, because it might be a shortcut, whereas this one is ambling and going all over the place and just very distracting. Thank you, Spirit. And that's why it wants to bring you back to your Oracle card of time for a beginner mind, because this doesn't feel like a journey that is new for you, Gemini. This feels like something you've been on for a while, and it feels like you're kind of tired and worn out. And Spirit is inviting you to kind of start over your mind fresh, just your mind, and to start in with a beginner mentality with your mind, because you're definitely on something that you've been working on for a while. It's your mind that needs the refresher, because your mind is definitely much in these kind of spaces right here. So you need something playful. You need something to kind of spice it up a bit so you can get back to work. And on the bottom of the deck, it says healing. So you need to take some time out for yourself, maybe. And that's part of the path too, right? Like if you're hunting and doing stuff, you're going to take a break for lunch, right? Kind of same thing here. So maybe you just need to like take a little break for a while and take care of yourself type deal and heal, because that will refresh you and that will give you a better mind, a more beginner mind in that sense. But you're definitely trekking up the mountain right now. And Spirit's presenting these decisions to you, or these options to you in this way so that you can make the decision. So just remember that the right path is not always the easy path. Remember that sometimes the easy path is actually a detour and a distraction. But if you push just a little bit harder, you can get to the top. So stay focused is what it's kind of saying, Gemini. And make your decision and be done with it too. Ooh. That's what I got for you. Let me know how that resonates in the comments, and I will see you guys later. Thank you.